Quran reminds us in Surah Ibrahim, verse 7, "If you are grateful, I will surely increase you in favor, but if you deny, indeed, my punishment is severe." When you consciously thank Allah even for the smallest blessings, a roof over your head, a meal on your table, the air you breathe, you are acknowledging that all good comes from Him. Gratitude is not just a feeling, it is a recognition of Allah's continuous mercy. Imagine a heart that constantly notices the beauty in everyday life, that sees the calm in a morning breeze, the warmth in a loved one's smile. That heart becomes alive with a divine connection. The second point is that gratitude transforms challenges into opportunities. Life is full of trials, loss, disappointment, illness, or moments of despair. But when you cultivate gratitude, your perspective shifts. You begin to see that every difficulty carries a hidden lesson. Every struggle carries a seed of growth. Consider the story of Prophet Ayub who faced unimaginable suffering. His gratitude and patience never wavered, and Allah rewarded him with relief and greater blessings than before. When we embrace gratitude, we do not ignore our struggles, but we allow Allah's wisdom to guide us through them, turning pain into purpose. Gratitude also unlocks unseen blessings. Often we overlook the countless favors Allah has placed around us. A simple act of counting our blessings can open doors we never imagined. Reflect on the joy of children laughing, the safety of your home, or the sustenance you enjoy daily. Each act of grateful remembrance multiplies your blessings, as Allah promises. Like a seed planted in fertile soil, gratitude nurtures your life to flourish beyond what you could plan or imagine. Moreover, gratitude strengthens your patience and trust in Allah. Life's uncertainties can make us anxious and fearful. Yet when we are grateful, we learn to surrender, to trust that Allah's plan is perfect. Even when doors close or when outcomes differ from our desires, gratitude anchors our hearts. It allows us to say, "Allah knows best," and to step forward with confidence. Picture a sailor navigating stormy seas, but holding steadfast to the belief that Allah's guidance will bring him safely to shore. This is the power of gratitude, patience paired with unwavering trust. Finally, gratitude becomes a beacon of hope for others. When you express gratitude openly, it inspires those around you. Your contentment, your joy, and your acknowledgement of Allah's mercy can uplift an entire community. Imagine the ripple effect: one grateful heart encouraging another, one thankful word transforming despair into hope. In a world often filled with complaint and comparison, gratitude becomes revolutionary. It turns ordinary moments into extraordinary opportunities for connection, for love, for Allah's remembrance. So my brothers and sisters, cultivate gratitude daily. Let it rise from your heart like a flame that never extinguishes. Reflect on the signs Allah has placed around you. Trust His timing, and recognize that every moment, even the challenging ones, is an invitation to grow, to trust, and to witness His blessings. When gratitude becomes your superpower, your life transforms from ordinary to extraordinary, your vision expands, and your heart becomes a vessel of hope, surrender, and divine joy. Gratitude is more than just a polite thank you or a fleeting feeling of appreciation. It is a profound recognition of Allah's infinite mercy, His constant blessings, and the wisdom that governs every moment of our lives. When gratitude becomes a daily practice, it establishes a connection between your heart and Allah that is unmatched by any other spiritual act. This connection is not only a source of inner peace, but also a source of strength, guidance, and clarity. It transforms the way we perceive our circumstances, both good and bad, and allows us to see life through the lens of divine wisdom. The Quran tells us in Surah Ibrahim, verse 7, "If you are grateful, I will surely increase you in favor, but if you deny, indeed my punishment is severe." This verse is a powerful reminder that gratitude is a gateway to increase, an increase not just in material possessions, but in spiritual insight, resilience, and overall well-being. Every blessing we notice, every moment we acknowledge as a gift from Allah opens the door to more blessings. It is as if gratitude itself is a magnet for divine generosity, drawing into our lives the favors that we often take for granted. Consider the simple acts of daily life: the food we eat, the water we drink, the air we breathe, the shelter that protects us. These are all manifestations of Allah's mercy that we might overlook. A heart that cultivates gratitude does not take these blessings for granted. Instead, it pauses to reflect, to marvel, and to thank Allah sincerely for each one. When you begin to count your blessings, you start to see that even in the smallest details of life, Allah's care is evident. That gentle breeze that cools a hot day, the warmth of the sun that nurtures the earth, the smile of a loved one, the laughter of children. These are all signs that Allah has not abandoned you, that He is present in every moment. Gratitude sharpens our awareness, allowing us to notice the miracles that are constantly unfolding around us. It shifts our attention from what we lack to what we already possess, turning ordinary experiences into profound reminders of Allah's mercy. Gratitude also creates a spiritual lens through which we interpret challenges. It does not mean ignoring difficulties or pretending that hardships do not exist. Rather, it allows us to view trials in the context of Allah's wisdom. Every challenge carries lessons, opportunities for growth, and chances to strengthen our faith. When a heart is rooted in gratitude, it recognizes that Allah's plan is perfect, even when it is beyond human comprehension. This recognition brings a sense of calm amidst chaos, a sense of clarity amidst confusion. Imagine a heart that in the midst of loss or disappointment, still manages to whisper a sincere Alhamdulillah, acknowledging that Allah's decree contains wisdom far beyond our understanding. This act of gratitude, even in the darkest times, transforms suffering into a conduit for spiritual growth, patience and resilience. In addition, gratitude fosters a deep sense of humility. When we acknowledge that every blessing comes from Allah, we understand that we are dependent on Him in every aspect of our lives. This awareness softens arrogance, reduces entitlement, and nurtures a heart that seeks to serve others with sincerity. Gratitude is a reminder that we are not the ultimate source of our success or comfort. Allah is. By recognizing this, we develop a heart that is generous, compassionate and mindful of the needs of others. Our appreciation for Allah's favors naturally flows into kindness and mercy towards those around us, creating a cycle of goodness that benefits both ourselves and our communities. Gratitude also has the power to transform the inner state of the mind and soul. Studies in psychology support what the Quran has taught for centuries. A grateful heart experiences greater joy, reduced anxiety, and a heightened sense of purpose. When we consistently reflect on Allah's blessings, we cultivate optimism, resilience and a deeper sense of fulfillment. This inner transformation is not superficial. It penetrates every aspect of life, influencing our thoughts, our actions and the way we interact with others. Gratitude becomes a lens through which the world appears brighter, challenges seem surmountable, and hope becomes a constant companion. The connection between gratitude and Allah's wisdom is also evident in the way He answers prayers. A heart that is grateful is more attuned to recognize the subtle ways in which Allah responds to our needs. Sometimes the answer comes in a way we do not expect, through means we could not imagine, and at moments that surprise us. Gratitude allows us to see these answers, to acknowledge them, and to respond with deeper faith. It transforms our prayers from mere requests into conversations rooted in trust, love and appreciation. Through gratitude we recognize that every moment, every circumstance and every provision is part of Allah's perfect plan, and this recognition strengthens our faith, our hope and our ability to surrender to Him completely. Gratitude has the incredible power to transform challenges into opportunities, turning moments of difficulty into stepping stones for growth and spiritual elevation. Life is full of tests, whether they come in the form of personal loss, financial hardship, illness, or emotional trials. At first glance, these moments may feel like obstacles meant to hold us back, but when viewed through the lens of gratitude, they become opportunities to witness Allah's wisdom and mercy. The Quran reminds us in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 286, that Allah does not burden a soul beyond what it can bear. This verse reassures us that every challenge we face is within our capacity to endure and, importantly, to learn from. Gratitude allows us to embrace this perspective, transforming the way we experience hardship. Instead of succumbing to despair, a grateful heart asks, "What is Allah teaching me through this? Or how can I respond in a way that brings me closer to Him?" When we are grateful during times of difficulty, our focus shifts from what is lost or painful to what remains and what can be gained. For instance, consider someone facing unemployment. The initial reaction might be frustration or fear, but a heart filled with gratitude might recognize the opportunity to explore new skills, strengthen family bonds or reconnect with spiritual practices that were previously neglected. By acknowledging even the smallest positives, we begin to see doors that we might have otherwise overlooked. This perspective aligns with the stories of the prophets, who faced immense trials yet remained grateful to Allah. Prophet Yusuf, despite being betrayed by his own brothers and imprisoned unjustly, never wavered in gratitude and trust. His perseverance and thankfulness eventually led him to a position of influence and the fulfillment of Allah's plan in a way that benefited many. Gratitude, therefore, does not ignore pain, but transforms it into a conduit for divine wisdom and ultimate success. Gratitude also strengthens resilience. When we recognize Allah's blessings even amidst hardship, we gain the courage to endure and the patience to persevere. Imagine a traveler facing a stormy desert journey. One who focuses solely on the harsh conditions might feel hopeless, but one who reflects on the water they carry, the guidance they have, and the destination promised by their faith will find strength to continue. Similarly, in our lives, gratitude allows us to endure trials with a sense of purpose, knowing that Allah's plan is precise, and that every difficulty carries a lesson designed to refine our character and increase our reliance on Him. This mindset transforms obstacles into opportunities for spiritual growth and personal development. Another remarkable aspect of gratitude in adversity is its ability to shift the heart from anxiety to trust. Often we worry about outcomes, fearing that we will fail or that our efforts are in vain. Gratitude, however, reminds us that Allah's knowledge encompasses everything, and what He decrees is always for our ultimate good. By focusing on what we have and what we can learn, we develop trust in His timing and wisdom. Consider a student who faces repeated academic failures. A heart rooted in gratitude will recognize the guidance, support, and knowledge they have received thus far, using setbacks as motivation to seek improvement while trusting that Allah's plan will lead them to the results best suited for their growth. In this way, gratitude transforms worry into reliance, fear into faith, and hesitation into action aligned with divine guidance. Gratitude also cultivates creativity and problem solving in the midst of trials. When a heart is focused on blessings rather than deficits, it naturally becomes more resourceful, seeing possibilities rather than limitations. A person struggling with financial hardship, for example, may recognize opportunities to develop new skills, start a small enterprise, or assist others, thereby creating unexpected avenues for success and reward. Gratitude allows us to approach challenges not as dead ends but as puzzles designed by Allah to expand our potential and prepare us for greater responsibilities. Moreover, gratitude deepens our empathy and connection with others during difficult times. When we acknowledge Allah's mercy in our own struggles, we become more attuned to the hardships of those around us, offering support, compassion, and encouragement. This creates a ripple effect, spreading resilience, hope, and positivity within our families, communities, and beyond. Through gratitude, personal challenges become collective opportunities for growth and mutual support, reinforcing the principle that life's trials are not just tests of individual endurance but also chances to uplift and inspire others. Gratitude has the remarkable ability to unlock unseen blessings in our lives, revealing the hidden favors of Allah that often go unnoticed in the hustle and bustle of daily life. Many of us live as if life's blessings are ordinary or expected, failing to realize that each breath, each moment of health, each smile, and every act of kindness is a manifestation of Allah's mercy. The Quran emphasizes this in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 152. So remember me, I will remember you, and be grateful to me and do not deny me. This verse illustrates the profound spiritual exchange that occurs when we practice gratitude. When we consciously recognize Allah's blessings, He not only increases those blessings but also opens our eyes to see more of the goodness that surrounds us, much of which we might have overlooked. Gratitude turns ordinary experiences into extraordinary gifts, creating a lens through which we begin to perceive life in its full richness. Many people focus on the things they lack, feeling frustrated, anxious, or incomplete. However, when gratitude becomes a daily practice, it shifts the focus from deficiency to abundance. It teaches the heart to see the fullness of Allah's provisions, even in situations that seem challenging. For example, a person may look at a small home and feel it is insufficient, but gratitude allows them to appreciate the security it provides, the warmth it shelters, and the opportunities it offers for family togetherness. A heart that is grateful recognizes that each blessing, no matter how small, carries layers of meaning, protection, and opportunity, and that Allah's wisdom is embedded within every provision. Gratitude also acts as a spiritual amplifier. When we acknowledge Allah's favors, we draw more blessings into our lives in ways that often surpass human expectation. Consider the story of a person who expresses genuine gratitude for a simple meal or a safe journey. That expression of thankfulness does not go unnoticed by Allah. It creates a spiritual receptivity in the heart, an openness that allows additional favors to flow in. Like a seed planted in fertile soil, gratitude nurtures growth, ensuring that the blessings already present in life multiply and manifest in both tangible and intangible ways. The more we appreciate, the more Allah increases. This principle demonstrates that gratitude is not just a passive emotion but an active force for blessing and transformation. In addition, gratitude enhances our perception of the present moment. Life often moves quickly, and people can become so absorbed in ambitions or regrets that they fail to notice the daily signs of Allah's mercy. A heart trained in gratitude pauses to reflect on each experience, recognizing even subtle signs of divine favor, the beauty of a sunset, the rhythm of rainfall, the kindness of a stranger, the opportunity to serve others. These become constant reminders that Allah's blessings are abundant, ongoing, and intricately woven into our daily existence. This awareness strengthens faith, fosters contentment, and cultivates a sense of awe that inspires continuous remembrance and devotion. Gratitude also deepens the connection between the heart and Allah, creating a cycle of spiritual reciprocity. When we express thanks for what we have, we are reminded of Allah's omnipresence and mercy. This recognition strengthens trust, patience, and surrender to His plan. The heart begins to see challenges as temporary, viewing them as part of a broader tapestry of divine wisdom. Each blessing acknowledged becomes a doorway to further guidance, insight, and spiritual fulfillment. A person practicing gratitude starts to notice opportunities, solutions, and pathways that were previously hidden, realizing that Allah's provisions extend far beyond material or immediate needs, reaching into emotional, spiritual, and relational dimensions of life. Moreover, gratitude encourages mindfulness and intentionality. It transforms routine actions, eating, walking, speaking, into conscious acts of remembrance, turning ordinary life into a continual expression of devotion. By recognizing blessings, one cultivates sensitivity to the needs of others, generosity in giving, and humility in receiving. Gratitude does not merely enrich personal life, it creates a ripple effect, allowing blessings to multiply through acts of kindness, compassion, and service to those around us. This practice nurtures an interconnected web of goodness, where the recognition of Allah's unseen favors leads to greater harmony, joy, and spiritual growth in both individual and communal life. Gratitude has the profound ability to strengthen patience and trust in Allah, providing a firm foundation upon which the heart can rest during life's uncertainties. Life is filled with moments of unpredictability, plans that do not unfold as expected, relationships that face trials, health that fluctuates, or opportunities that appear and disappear. In such moments, it is natural for the heart to feel anxious, restless, or disheartened. However, gratitude transforms this inner state, enabling a person to remain steady, hopeful, and connected to Allah's wisdom. The Quran reminds us in Surah At-Tawbah, verse 51, "Say never will we be struck except by what Allah has decreed for us. He is our protector, and upon Allah let the believers rely." Gratitude deepens our reliance on Allah by making us consciously aware that everything in our lives, both the favorable and the challenging, is under His perfect care. Recognizing His blessings fosters a sense of security and trust that no worldly circumstance can diminish. When a person practices gratitude, even during hardship, it cultivates patience, which is a form of spiritual resilience. Gratitude allows us to focus on what is present rather than dwelling solely on what is missing or has gone wrong. Consider someone facing a personal setback, such as losing a job or facing a health concern. A heart rooted in gratitude acknowledges the skills, knowledge, and relationships that remain intact, the support that continues to be available, and the small blessings that persist daily. This recognition provides a sense of stability and hope, making it possible to endure trials without despair. Gratitude reminds us that even in moments of difficulty, Allah's mercy surrounds us, and patience is not a passive waiting but an active acknowledgement of His wisdom in every situation. Trust in Allah, or tawakkul, is strengthened through gratitude because it shifts the heart from fear to faith. When we are thankful for what we have, we inherently recognize Allah's wisdom in our circumstances. This recognition allows us to surrender to His plan, understanding that every event has a purpose, even if it is not immediately apparent. A student preparing for an important exam, a person navigating financial uncertainty, or someone dealing with relational challenges, can experience peace by reflecting on past instances where Allah's guidance led to unexpected success or relief. Gratitude trains the heart to anticipate that the outcomes of life, whether they appear favorable or challenging, are always aligned with Allah's perfect knowledge and timing. Gratitude also nurtures endurance in the face of repeated trials. Life rarely follows a linear path, and repeated challenges can test one's resolve. Yet when a person maintains a grateful perspective, they are better equipped to persist without losing faith. Imagine a person struggling with repeated setbacks in business, education, or personal goals. Gratitude allows them to pause and reflect on past successes, the lessons learned from failures, and the support they continue to have. Each moment of recognition becomes a reinforcement of patience, reminding the heart that Allah's plan unfolds in stages, and that perseverance combined with thankfulness opens the door to eventual relief and reward. Moreover, gratitude strengthens the ability to respond to adversity with composure and wisdom. A person overwhelmed by frustration or fear is likely to make impulsive or short-sighted decisions. In contrast, a heart anchored in gratitude is calm, reflective, and attentive to guidance, both from Allah and from the resources available in life.
Gratitude nurtures emotional intelligence, allowing a person to assess situations with clarity, respond thoughtfully, and act in a manner that aligns with moral and spiritual principles. It transforms the way we perceive challenges, turning them into opportunities for learning, growth, and deeper trust in Allah's decree. The practice of gratitude also reinforces hope, which is essential for sustained patience and trust. When a heart consistently acknowledges Allah's past favors, it develops an expectation that He will continue to provide, guide, and uplift. This hope is not naive optimism, but a grounded assurance based on divine promise. Every blessing recognized, every act of thankfulness expressed, strengthens the inner conviction that Allah's wisdom is infinite, and that His timing is perfect. Gratitude therefore becomes the bridge between patience and trust, creating a resilient, hopeful, and unwavering heart capable of navigating life's uncertainties with faith and confidence. Gratitude has the extraordinary power to become a beacon of hope for others, extending far beyond the personal benefits it brings to our own hearts and lives. When we cultivate a grateful mindset, it radiates outward, influencing our interactions, relationships, and communities in ways that can inspire, uplift, and transform. A heart filled with gratitude naturally carries joy, patience, and serenity, and this energy becomes contagious. Others notice it in our words, actions, and demeanor, and they are drawn to the hope and positivity that gratitude generates. The Quran reminds us in Surah An-Nisa, verse 36, "Worship Allah, and associate nothing with Him, and to parents do good, and to relatives, orphans, the needy, the near neighbor, the neighbor farther away, the companion at your side, the traveler, and those whom your right hands possess. Indeed, Allah does not like those who are self-deluding and boastful." Gratitude is intimately connected to kindness and service toward others, and when expressed genuinely, it strengthens social bonds, and creates a ripple effect of hope and goodness. When a person demonstrates thankfulness, it often encourages those around them to adopt a similar perspective. Imagine a community where gratitude is actively practiced. Neighbors support one another, families appreciate each other's efforts, and colleagues recognize the contributions of others. In such an environment, hope flourishes, because people feel seen, valued, and supported. Gratitude inspires cooperation, reduces conflict, and fosters an atmosphere in which optimism can thrive even amid challenges. Small acts of appreciation, acknowledging someone's hard work, offering a kind word, or expressing sincere thanks, can ignite profound emotional and spiritual responses. This phenomenon demonstrates that gratitude is not limited to internal spiritual development. It has the capacity to shape and elevate entire communities, making life more harmonious, compassionate, and hopeful. Gratitude also inspires storytelling, and the sharing of experiences that serve as guidance for others. When someone speaks openly about the blessings in their life, the struggles they overcame, and the ways Allah's mercy manifested in unexpected moments, it encourages others to reflect on their own lives. For instance, a person who has endured financial hardship yet remains grateful for small victories, can motivate friends and family to see their own challenges differently. Gratitude becomes a lens through which others learn resilience, patience, and trust in Allah. It creates an unspoken mentorship, where the lived experience of thankfulness becomes a model of hope and steadfastness. People are naturally drawn to those who demonstrate gratitude because it reassures them that joy, peace, and divine support are attainable, even during difficult times. Furthermore, gratitude strengthens the sense of shared humanity. When we recognize Allah's blessings in our own lives, we also become more aware of the needs and struggles of others. This awareness fosters empathy and encourages us to act in ways that lift those around us. A person who is grateful for their health may volunteer to help the sick. Someone thankful for financial stability may assist the needy, and a family that appreciates the love among them may extend compassion to neighbors and friends. Gratitude amplifies the impact of good deeds, turning personal contentment into communal benefit. Each act motivated by thankfulness carries the potential to uplift, comfort, and inspire hope in someone else, creating a network of positive influence that extends far beyond the individual. Gratitude also shapes the way people perceive setbacks, inspiring others to maintain hope when facing adversity. Observing someone respond to challenges with patience, appreciation, and trust in Allah demonstrates that difficulties are not the end but rather part of a larger divine plan. This visible resilience can encourage others to approach their own struggles with optimism, fostering a culture of hope, faith, and perseverance. The ripple effect is profound. One grateful heart can influence countless others, spreading a mindset that celebrates Allah's mercy, seeks growth from trials, and remains optimistic in the face of uncertainty. Finally, gratitude communicates trust in Allah's plan to those around us. When people see someone content and hopeful despite obstacles, it serves as a silent yet powerful reminder of the beauty of reliance on Allah. Gratitude becomes a living testament to divine mercy, a demonstration that life's challenges are temporary, and that blessings both seen and unseen are abundant. It is through this practice that gratitude transcends personal benefit, becoming a beacon of hope, encouragement, and inspiration for others, illuminating paths that may have seemed dark, and showing that Allah's guidance and mercy are ever present.